exhausted from work and had gone to sleep early, and my mother soon drifted off next to her. Sometime after midnight, she suddenly woke up. Standing outside the window was a man staring right at her. Panicked, she ran to my grandmother's room and cried, "There's a scary man outside the window." But Grandma thought it was just a bad dream and sent her back to bed. When she returned to her room, the man was gone. Still, she remembered every detail. Tall, bushy white beard, dirty brown hair, clothes stained with mud like someone who'd been living on the streets. Terrified, she crawled into Grandma's bed and stayed there the rest of the night. The next morning, nothing seemed unusual. Grandma got ready for work and then dropped her off at the babysitter's. But when they came home later, they both froze. The window, the one right next to their beds, was missing. It had been ripped clean out of the trailer wall. No jewelry was taken, no money stolen, nothing touched except that one window. Grandma didn't stay long enough to ask questions. They packed their things and moved out immediately. The man was never seen again. Story 2. The silhouette sitting beside me. When I was about 10 years old, I lived in a small house where all the rooms were connected. My two brothers shared one room, and I shared another with my mom and my little sister. One night around 3 in the morning, I was still awake watching cartoons on our old TV. The door slowly creaked open, and one of my brothers stepped inside. Or at least, I thought it was him. Even with the light from the TV, I couldn't see his face. His entire body was a dark silhouette, like a shadow shaped into a person. He sat down on the edge of my bed without saying a word. His face, or whatever was there, turned toward the TV. I whispered to him, asking if he couldn't sleep or if he wanted to change the channel. He didn't respond. He just sat completely still. My real brother could never sit still this long. He always fidgeted, always moved around. But this figure didn't twitch once. Eventually, I got up to use the bathroom. On my way back, I passed my brother's room, and both of them were fast asleep, curled up under their blanket, breathing heavily. Not a single chance one of them had been in my room. My stomach dropped. I ran back, and the silhouette was gone. The bed was empty. Only then did it hit me I had never actually seen its face. I didn't even know if it had been watching the TV or watching me. To this day, still wonder what that thing was. And honestly, I'm glad I never found out. Story 3. The pale girl in the classroom. My school always looked perfectly normal, bright hallways, clean classrooms, nothing strange about it. But over the years, there were always rumors. One story said a disguised man once entered the school and ripped a pair of gold earrings right off a student's ears. No one knew if it really happened or if it was just another scary tale. One afternoon, my friend Katie and I were walking down an empty hallway after class. It was strangely silent. No teachers, no students, just us. Suddenly, I felt an icy sensation, like someone was watching. As we walked past a classroom with the lights off and the door closed, I glanced through the small window in the door. Inside the dark room stood a girl. Her skin was pale, almost gray. Blood was dripping from her ears. She stared at me without blinking. I couldn't move. Katie asked what was wrong, but I couldn't answer. I grabbed her hand and sprinted to our classroom, heart pounding. When I finally told her what I'd seen, she went pale. Then she told me something that made everything worse. The day before, our teacher had told her to turn off the lights before leaving class. I had already walked ahead. Katie said that right as she flipped the switch, she saw the same girl standing in the dark, with blood running from her ears. She had been too scared to tell anyone. We had both seen her on different days, in the same classroom. Sometimes I wonder what might have happened if we hadn't run, if we stayed in that hallway just a little longer.